Hey everybody, and welcome to Couch Talk with Nina. I am Nina. You better grab yourself a Pepsi and hang on, baby, because we are going for a ride. This is going to be a good one. We are going to be talking about Maegan Barras and her husband Josh. Maegan was on the Dr. Phil show, and I have a kind of personal experience. My hair's a mess. About this, and I want to go into how I became a follower of Maegan and an unbeliever of her story, and address some issues that was said on Dr. Phil and some things that's going on the TikToks. So this is going to be a juicy ride, okay, y'all? It's going to be a good one. So buckle up. Let's get started. I want to start off telling a little backstory about Josh and Maegan. 2 years ago, Josh was arrested and he attempted suicide while he was in the jail, and he was unsuccessful and was left with a brain injury. I need to interrupt the video for a moment and just say to anyone out there that is struggling with suicidal thoughts that it typically gets better and quicker than we think it is. I've attempted suicide myself, and it does get better. Yeah, things get bad again, but it gets better again. That's just life throwing us lemons, and instead of throwing our lives away, we just need to throw lemons back at it. So if you are having suicidal thoughts, I ask that you get some help. You talk to someone. Even if you feel that people don't love you, trust me, they do. People care. Talk to someone that cares. If you have to talk to a suicidal hotline, I'll put that up here. Talk to a friend, a neighbor, someone on social media. Just talk to someone and get it out. Don't sit and suffer in silence. That's when things go really bad. And back to the program. His wife, Maegan, says that he's in a declining state and she wants to have him home on hospice to remove the feedings from Josh. If you don't know this story, you can catch it on Dr. Phil. You'll know who it is by the tagline. She's a blonde-headed woman. You can also find her on TikToks under Maggie Pie. It's Maegggypie. If you want to know more about the story. And it's just a sad situation all the way around. But it gets juicy. So stay here and listen to all the details because it gets juicy, okay? So, and you've also got the mom, Kelly, that was on Dr. Phil. Okay, so I found Maegan a while back. I don't know exactly when, but it was long enough ago that I can really give a good opinion about it. I've seen enough lives, enough videos to really know a lot. But the first video I seen of Josh that she shared, I cried like a baby. Like, I'm the type of person, I get really invested in other people and I feel their pain. Like, God gifted me with like really strong love for others and empathy. And I'm the type of person that cries when an ambulance goes by. I don't even know if they just murdered somebody, okay? I pray for them like I know them. And I cry when I see sick kids. I've just got the biggest heart. So I'm all wrapped up in this story. I start watching her lives every time she comes on. I watch every video she posts, and I'm completely invested in this, and I'm a huge supporter of everything other than the fact she wanted to remove feedings. I thought, that's a little bit cruel, and I didn't really agree with that, but I understood where she was coming from and why she wanted to do it, supposedly so Josh wouldn't suffer anymore. But I'm going to give you my new opinion on that. I'll just go ahead and give it. Now I feel that she needs a new storyline. But we'll get into all of that. So I'm invested. And I'm watching her lives. And there was one particular live that really, I'd already been questioning things, but this really set it into, from questioning to, I need to look into this further. She was in a live with her girlfriend, and you know, they were talking about bringing Josh home to remove the feedings, and, you know, she was crying and going on one second and then laughing and carrying on the next, and then cussing somebody that was in the comments the next. And, you know, it was just behaviors that were all mixed and just, you know, really messed up. It was just really, you just had to watch it. I mean, it was unsettling to say the least. So that's when it hit me, you need to look into this further. So I started investigating a little bit, and I found out a lot of information on the Googles. And, you know, one thing that completely like went over my head is when I read the court document that she was suing for funeral expenses. Hello, he is not dead. And that didn't hit me until I watched a video from All Love No Hate. ALLUVNOHATE is how I think it is. She's on the TikToks. Go check her out, okay? And she comes from a genuine place. I've talked to her or him personally, and I know that they're coming from a genuine place to try to help Josh. In the meantime, she's got to out Maegan for who she is. Meg, whatever. For who she is, in order to open awareness to others to try to get Josh the help that he deserves, okay? And I have made a few notes because I have a bad memory and I can't remember to say everything that I need to say, and I don't want to get things wrong. So I really sat down, I've thought about a lot of events that have happened, things I've seen on Dr. Phil, things I've seen on All Love No Hate, things I've seen for myself. And I want you to put it all together and have a mind for yourself on the situation. But, you know, I investigated everything. She had raised money for HBOT. I had seen that she had not got the treatments for the HBOT. He got a couple treatments, but she said the office wasn't equipped to do the treatments that he needed. He was only getting 50% capacity. He only had 1 week of physical therapy, you know, but she's raised thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars for Josh. And come to find out on Dr. Phil, Josh didn't even need this money anyways because he's got Medicaid. And this come from his mother. I mean, I've only watched the 4 parts on Dr. Phil that Dr. Phil has on his YouTubes. And you will clearly find those if you look for them. And, you know, so I don't know the whole entire story and everything that was shared on there. But I can tell you what I've seen on there compared to what I've seen on her videos and her lives. And just nothing she said was anything that she said to her followers, okay? And I'm going to start with, my cats have went crazy. I'm going to start with the fact of his decline. She's talking, you know, that he has no response whatsoever. But she accidentally thought, I assume she thought nobody was going to pick up on the fact he was responding. But she posted a video, and it wasn't that far back, but it was put on there December 2020. And in this video, she's like, look up, look down, look sideways. And he done everything she asked him to do. So he clearly can respond, but she's telling all of her followers, you know, he has no response. He's not there. He may be physically there, but he is not there. But he was clearly responding in this video. And when people started pointing that out, the video was taken down. But you can see that video. I think it's still taken down because it was shared on Dr. Phil. So she may put it back up. But it is on All Love No Hate. So I do know that for a fact. So yeah, she said he was declining. And I'm sure he is because he's not had any treatment whatsoever. So, yeah, you're going to decline. And she blames it on COVID, that he can't get the treatment he needs because the shutdown of COVID. But people are getting elective surgeries every day. Why can't he get some type of treatment? I don't buy into all of that, okay? And neither should you. I mean, I know, you know, there for a while he probably couldn't get treatments. But now, yeah, he can get treatments, I'm sure. And she told his mother that he was in a fetal position. And that's why he needed his feedings removed. But in her live, she said that the only thing that has changed within Josh is that 1 foot is drawed a little bit. So he went from only 1 foot drawed a little bit to he's in a fetal position. He needs his feedings removed. Things just don't add up. So, you think about all of this and, it just don't, I'm trying to mark off everything I've said so far. It just don't make sense. And, where's all this money, the thousands of dollars that she raised for treatments that he didn't get, that he didn't need the money to begin with because he had Medicaid? Where's all that money at? What'd she do with it? I do know that one of them could have went for a court case that she filed, but we'll get into that in a minute. On her live, she stated that Josh went to jail because he was caught with her Xanax. That was the end of it. She didn't say he was arrested for other reasons as well. That was the reason he was arrested. But when you look at the Dr. Phil videos, you find out Josh was arrested because he stole his mother's car and his mother's credit card and spent $700. And that's why he was arrested. And both of them decided to keep him in there to get him help because he was on drugs. So, why the two different stories? Yeah, he could have been arrested for the Xanax as well as the other stuff, but why didn't you say there was other things, but I don't want to talk about it, or that's somebody else's business? It was just left that he was caught with Xanax. Let me take a minute to look at my notes. On live, she was talking about not having, Josh was getting ready to come home on hospice, and she was not letting it out that this was her decision, that she wanted this. It was put out there like the doctors have decided to send Josh home on hospice to have the feedings removed. And I don't have money for funeral expenses because I wasn't expecting this to happen. What? That's the idea that you got from this live, that she had no involvement in it whatsoever. She wasn't expecting this to happen. And people were sending her money. They're like, oh, I will help you out. I'm going to send you money. Blah, 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 blah. And come to find out, she's wanting the feedings removed to keep Josh from suffering, and she wants him to die in peace. I couldn't find another way to die in more misery. I went hungry. It is not fun. And a lot of people are going to say, well, he don't even know what's happening. He's not going to feel anything. What if he does? What if there's a 1% chance that he is going to feel every bit of the agony of starving? Would that stop her? Has she thought, is he going to feel this? Is he going to be in agony? Does she just need new content? I mean, what's going on here? Dr. Phil, he offered to have new scans done for Josh because the scans that he had, he's not had any since it's first happened. And she is told that she's not having them done because she's got to pay for transportation. Okay, you raised thousands of dollars for HBOT treatments that was never used for HBOT treatments. And so why can't you pay for transportation? While I'm editing this video, I realized that I didn't mention that someone did offer to pay for the transportation that she needed, and it wasn't accepted to have this done. Are you afraid that a real doctor is going to say that he still has brain activity? I mean, that's my opinion. And I told you about, on 12/14, she commented on she replied on a comment. He looks up and down. He moves. And then on 1/13, a month later, and she said on a reply to a comment that he shows nothing for the last year. Is it that he can do commands, or he's done nothing for the last year? Which is it? That was not even a month apart from each other. You made these comments, so which time did you lie? I'm going to say you lied when he said he showed nothing for the last year, because I seen the video that he looked up, down, side, and side. That shows that he's responsive. And, to beat it all, to beat this all, she is her and Josh were filing for divorce when he tried to commit suicide. The mother said that he had a girlfriend when he tried to commit suicide. Well, when he got arrested, Meg, whatever her name is, Maegan, she claims that this is not true, that her and Josh were back together, and they were only getting a divorce because of some kind of custody thing. They had to get a divorce in order to settle some type of custody agreement, whatever that may be. I don't know. I'm going to assume either the dad of the kids didn't want Josh around because he's on drugs, or CPS didn't want Josh around because he's on drugs, or something to that nature. And, you know, the treatments that Josh did have was, like, I think it was 2 treatments at 50% capacity. She said he couldn't have no more because the office wasn't equipped to do the treatments. Why not get him to another office, okay? Why keep him where he's not going to be able to get any treatments? He only had 1 week of physical therapy, and coming from somebody that has been crippled. I was crippled when I was 19 years old. I had to have a month's worth of physical therapy, and I continued the physical therapy at home and taking care of elderly people. I can see where, you know, they was doing physical therapy 1 minute, and, you know, they get off the physical therapy and they don't continue moving around, and they don't continue the therapy on their own terms. They start declining, and that's what's happening to Josh. You know, if you're not being treated, you're not going to get any better. But you can definitely improve if your body's moving, if you're, you know, building up your muscles in some sort of fashion. The same time she was raising funds for the HBOT treatments, she was suing for funeral expenses for a man that hasn't even died. So which is it? Are you going to get him treatment, or are you going to let him die? I mean, you're clearly thinking he's going to die if you're going to sue for funeral expenses. So, my cat's whining for some reason. Just overlook her. On October the 30th of 2019, she filed the claim for funeral expenses. On October 30th, the same exact day of 2019, she posted on Facebook that his trach was out and it was healing up, and she's thanking Jesus for all this improvement with Josh. But the same exact day she filed for funeral expenses. That just doesn't add up. Look at the facts, and you can find all these facts on All Love No Hate. I mean, yeah, I found a lot of this on my own, but a lot of it went over my head like, hello, where did... I read with my own eyes when I started investigating this that she was filing for funeral expenses, but that went over my head like a fly. Why didn't catch on to that until I seen All Love No Hate pointed out? You know, you're filing for funeral expenses for a man that isn't dead. In one video, she states that he is in a vegetative state, but he's also mentally conscious. But she's also telling people in his live he has no response system. And he doesn't know anything around him. And he doesn't even know he is even on this earth, you know. That's the way she's putting it. But, you know, it's like everything that she talks about, she's contradicting herself over and over and over and over. Red flag, I see you. So many red flags that people are just like, and they hate me. They hate me. They hate All Love No Hate because we are pointing out these facts that just things are not adding up. This man needs treatment that he deserves. He is laying there getting no treatment, and the longer it goes on, the worse it's going to get. His mother needs to know that somebody fought for him. She needs to see for herself if he can improve or if he can't before he passes away. If they are going to remove the feedings, his mother needs to let this go with a peaceful mind. So she won't be forever thinking, I could have done more, or I should have done more, or I should have fought this harder. You know, he could have got better. She needs to see if he can get better or not. Although none of this is any of her fault. You know, unfortunately, she doesn't have power of attorney. The divorce wasn't final, so everything was left to Maegan. And it's just, the whole situation is just so sad. I feel for Josh so much. I feel for Kelly. And at one point, and you know, I know Maegan has probably been through so much with all of this. And I'm not discrediting what she has been through. But it's just, she let it go from, you know, the wife that's mourning the, you know, really, in all honesty, the loss of a husband. I mean, he's there, but, you know, not in the capacity a husband can be there. So, yeah, she's been through a lot. But she's went through that to getting all this attention, and she's absolutely loving it and eating it up. And, you know, she's running out of content, so she's, in my opinion, she's using this all love, no hate to get more content because, you know, she tried to, and it was so funny. Okay, on the last live I was in, and this, you know, that was the straw that broke this camel's back. And hello, red flags. She's sitting there playing with her hair like this, like a crackhead or a meth head, you know, picking a sore. And she's like, she got a hair extension in. She's trying to get out. I know it was aggravating her, but she could have done this after she got off live. But that was just aggravating in itself. But I love no hate sent her a text. Apparently they text back and forth, you know. And, you know, go watch these videos. I mean, you'll see a lot of it. And she was telling, I know you're blocked, but I'll unblock you and you can come in here and I'll answer any questions you have. And if anybody would have paid attention to the questions All Love No Hate was asking and the answers that Maegan was given, then they would know it didn't make sense to the answer she was giving to the question. And she was skipping over questions like she didn't see them. And she even done that to a question I asked. I said, if Josh is batted off enough to have his feedings removed, why is this not happening? You know, I tried to say it in nice terms. You know, why, if it's going to happen, why hasn't it happened? Why hasn't it happened? And she read my question out loud, but never answered it. And she done quite a few people that way. Anything that would have made her look bad, she didn't answer. Or wouldn't have really gave her the sympathy that she thought she needed, she didn't answer. And it was just, it was sad. And in that live I watched with her and her girlfriend, and, you know, her behavior was all over the place, like crying one minute, cussing the next, and laughing and carrying on the next, and talking about removing the feedings, and her girlfriend in the room, and, you know, distasteful to say the least. Speaking of the girlfriend, you know, they made a video the day before Josh was supposed to have his feedings removed. I'm talking, they was going to send Josh home on hospice. It didn't happen because the mother, Kelly, threatened to get a lawyer, so hospice didn't go through with it. So the day before Josh was supposed to come home, they made a video on the TikToks. Hello, red flag. And in this video, her and her girlfriend was mouthing, you know how the TikToks are. They were mouthing to the sound of somebody else. And it said, if somebody want to walk out of your life, let them go. If somebody want to walk out of your life, let him go. That ain't the really bad part. The bad part follows in the comments, where the girlfriend said, if you can't walk, we'll wheel you out. It may have had nothing to do with Josh, but the fact that those two were following so closely to each other, it was so distasteful, so disgraceful, so, And another red flag is she only posted parts of videos of 2 and 3 from Dr. Phil. Why didn't she post more? She clearly loves attention. She loves what she's getting from all of this. So why didn't she post? And I haven't dissected this to see what's in parts 1 and 4 that she don't want people to see. But she only posted parts 2 and 3, 60 seconds of each one of them, which wasn't the full thing. You can go watch them on Dr. Phil on YouTube. Or on his website. It's also on his website. I haven't seen the full Dr. Phil thing, but they said that she did share a picture of Josh in a diaper, which you know, that was just uncalled for in itself. And when she was going to tell her followers, you know, she put on her video, I'm going to tell you a secret, but she never would tell the secret. Look, I got something I want, and she was so happy, like smiling so big. I got something I want to tell you, but I can't tell you. I got something I want to tell you so bad, but my moderators won't let me. Like, that's your mommy. Your moderators can't tell you what to do. And, you know, she was just showing so much joy about the secret that she was going to share. Although everybody knew it was Dr. Phil, because she had told us before that there was a chance that she was going to be on the Dr. Phil show. So we knew what it was, but she just wouldn't come out and say it because she wanted to linger it on. And in the middle of this, I guess somebody's asking, why won't you tell us this secret? You said you was going to tell us this secret. Her response, there is only 157 people in here. I'm not telling it. Hello, red flag, I see you. You can't tell it unless you got a couple thousand people in there. Clout, money, attention seeker. There's so many red flags out there, and if you want to see them, there's plenty of them. If you followed her long enough, you can tell that she's full of you know what just by listening to one story to the next. And I'm going to tell this one last thing, and then I'm going to hop off here. I think I will finish up if I tell this one last story. There's clearly so much more I could say, but yeah, I'm already into 27 minutes here. On December the 4th, she filed an extension to the funeral expense that was denied. You know, because Josh isn't dead. You can't get funeral expenses if someone's still alive, right? So she filed an extension on December the 4th. On December the 5th, she told Josh's mom that she had a dream, and Josh said, let me go. And that's when she decided to get the feedings removed from Josh. Okay? On December the 4th, she files an extension, people. This is all documented. If you just do your research and you watch her videos and you watch her lives, all this has been said, the dates are there, and you can go all love no hate. I mean, she is on top of, or he is on top of everything. But on the 4th, she files an extension. On the 5th, she tells Josh's mom he wants to go home. I'm sure he wasn't saying, let me die. He said, let me go in the dream. Even if this dream was true. He said, let me go. Maybe he's telling her to move on because she's already moved on. He just wants her out of her life because he knows what she's doing. And, you know, even the mom has said she's just doing this for money, people. Come on. And, I mean, it's just so, everything together. I mean, if you believe everything that comes out of this woman's mouth, you need to check yourself. Because, I mean, she's clearly up to no good. She didn't want his feedings removed until she couldn't get funeral expenses from the jail. And, you know, she's getting so much attention from Josh right now. I doubt she'd let him have the feedings removed anyways until she wanted to bring him home to get more attention so she could show him on video dying. And she would. Don't think for 1 second she would not show him laying there suffering without his feedings. She wouldn't show him in agony because she showed him in every other situation that I'm sure he wouldn't want to be shown. If she showed him I know for a fact, I know every man out there would not want to be shown on national TV in a diaper. So, before you give this woman all of your hard-earned money, because trust me, this poor girl right here who has nothing, I have nothing. I was ready to send this woman part of my stimulus check. My last one. Okay? I was ready to, because it took me forever to get my stimulus check. I was ready to give her. Probably, because that's the type of person I am, probably most of it. And then I guess God told me, open your eyes, girl, before you send her everything you got. You don't have nothing anyways. And you're getting ready to send it to somebody that's just using her husband to get attention and money. Just don't send her your hard-earned money. If you want to help out in other ways. Pay a bill. Or if he does die, pay the funeral home directly. You can do that. You can pay a funeral home directly. You don't have to give a person the money. you can call the funeral home and say, I want to donate to Josh Barras's funeral, and they will take your information at the funeral home. You don't have to send it through people to help. And they'll let you know if the funeral is paid for or not. So, if you still want to help her, there are ways to help her without giving her money directly. And that's the way I advise you to do it. Check out all of these things right here, my TikTokies, and everything else I put up here, because I don't know what now I'm going to put up. It's been a while since I've been on. It's been good talking. I've enjoyed this. I don't like the situation, but I'm glad to be back on here and give me some ideas of some other things that we can talk about. Or if you know somebody else that's suspicious on the TikToks or on another social media, let me know. I'll investigate it. To fight for people that have no voice. And that's Josh. He doesn't have a voice to fight for himself, and apparently nothing his mother's saying is getting across. And they need people to fight for him. Have a blessed day. Let me know what your opinion is on the matter without fighting with people. We can all talk like adults. And, you know, if you agree with Meg and you can prove me otherwise, please do. Because I would not like to have this opinion about somebody. I typically like everybody no matter what they do, but I really am struggling on this. So if you can prove me wrong, please do. But let's all talk in a nice manner. And may God bless you, and I love you guys. Just a hillbilly's opinion.